How's it going, everybody? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs co-beat writer for On SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Thank you guys so much for stopping in today as we have a big game on deck for the Kansas City Chiefs. They take on the Tennessee Titans. And when I say big game, it's not necessarily fighting for a playoff spot because obviously those opportunities were presented and fumbled. But it's still a big game because the Kansas City Chiefs a loss against the Tennessee Titans would not look good on the resume, especially for the season, but I guess it wouldn't be too off-putting for how the season has kind of gone this year for Kansas City. Despite that, though, in today's podcast, we're going to break down the a final prediction for really the B team for Kansas City. As you know, Patrick Mahomes will not be available as he has been put on injured reserve and is out for the entire season with an ACL tear. Don't know if he's going to be back to begin 2026, but it is something that they are hopeful for, which means that Gardner Minshew will be taking over the starting quarterback role with the final 3 games. You still got Travis Kelce out there. You're not going to see a whole lot of the familiar faces in the wide receiving room as Rashee Rice and Tyquan Thornton. They are both out for the game, but it does present several opportunities for the young players on the Kansas City Chiefs. For example, Jalen Royals has a very big opportunity in this game to kind of get his feet get his feet wet, so to say, have a really big performance. And Matt Nagy, he was asked about how he believes Jalen Royals can play, just to talk about Jalen Royals. And this is what he said. You want to see more of him, from him if possible. We've been in a position where these wide receivers that we have, we feel very fortunate with these guys that we've had for the middle of the season on when Rashee Rice came back. Some of it's a number of things for him and somewhat a redshirt year in a way. He's practicing hard in practice, but for him, there's a lot of good stuff here with him, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. Whether it's these next 3 games and or in the future, but yes, it's going to give some kids opportunities to maybe get some more time that they wouldn't have gotten, and it's our job to see that and give them those chances. So that being said, it kind of just takes over for what the Chiefs are trying to do. These final 3 games are just purely about development. So when I do say that I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs will win this game, I think it is a testament rather to the success or potential that the Chiefs could have in the 2026 class, or at least moving forward. But it's also the fact that I don't really believe in the Tennessee Titans. From watching how they've played thus far this season, they don't necessarily have anything that jumps off to the chart from you. And I think that a loss for Kansas City, even with the team that they're rolling out there, would be very embarrassing and could definitely change the outcome of how the front office goes about the 2026 season and rather the offseason, immediate offseason. But additionally, as I've marked in articles today, it's going to be a rookie show. And I think that it's important. While you're not going to have Omar Norman Lott, you're going to have guys like Noel Williams and Jeffrey Bassa stepping up. You got to assume that if those guys are playing, then Brashard Smith is also going to get a few runs and maybe carries at the running back position. He could also be a returner. Ashton Gillotte has been playing fairly well, and I think that his ceiling is high, as defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo has also talked about. All in all, though, the Titans have not played very well this season. And I really do think that going into this game, even though the Chiefs are in Tennessee and away from home, which they haven't really played all that well recently, regardless, it's going to benefit Kansas City When looking at the offensive stats this season for the Tennessee Titans in points averaged per game, the Titans averaged the second worst amount of points on offense per game with 16.1. The Las Vegas Raiders are well below them at 14, and that's the only team that they are beating. The Chiefs are averaging 23.4 points per game, and that's even with Patrick Mahomes, but I know that even if you replace Mahomes with Minshew, there's still a lot of offensive components that I do think benefits Kansas City in this game. On top of this, the defense has this season for Kansas City has arguably been its best spot because the offense has been so inconsistent. The Chiefs have a top 5 defense in terms of how many points are averaged per game, averagely allowing 19.1. So that means, if you are allowing more than 16 points to the Tennessee Titans, they're pretty much on average. But I don't see that happen. All in all, I do think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to take this game. They're going to, I would say that they're really just going to hold Tennessee to a couple field goals. I don't even know if a touchdown's in order. If a touchdown is in order, I do think that this game finishes with the Titans getting 10 points at most. I think that they have 3 field goals throughout the game, and they're going to finish with 9 points. I think Kansas City has no problem getting to around 18 to 20 points, 21 points. That's my kind of prediction. I think Kansas City is going to take this game. If they don't, maybe it's just me, but I'm going to look at them a little bit differently as they go into a very difficult stretch as a franchise for the latter half of the season and into the next season. With that being said, though, be sure you follow us over at KC Chiefs on SI on X. You can also follow us over there on Facebook as well by the same title, Kansas City Chiefs on SI. Everything gets posted there. You're not going to want to miss any coverage of the Chiefs as we go into Week 16 and the rest of the regular season. As always, folks, be kind to one another. I'll see you tomorrow.